Stumble along with me. I'm going to make homemade Greek yogurt using these active cultures from Cultures for Health. And this is going to be the first time I've used this, so we're going to see how it works out. All we need are these cultures and some whole milk, preferably not ultra pasteurized. Pasteurized is okay apparently, and we should be in business. So I'm going to give it a try. I have never done it before, so let's see how it turns out. One of the cool things about this is that once you've made your yogurt, you can essentially use that same yogurt to keep making yogurt over and over again. From what I've read, you only need 2 tablespoons of the yogurt that you make in order to start your next batch of yogurt. So perpetual yogurt from this package. Okay, let's open this up and see what we got. All right, tips, tricks, and everything you need to make it your own. Cultures and more cultures. So 2 packages of cultures and then the instructions for using them. This particular package has a sell-by date that is about 1.5 years out. So this second package can stay in here and it looks like I'll have a good amount of time to use it if for some reason I don't continue to use the first batch to perpetually make yogurt over and over again. All right, here are our steps. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to activate our starter by heating a quart of milk to 160 degrees and then cooling it to 110. We're going to pour that into a container, throw in our starter, cover it, and hold it at 110 for about 5 hours. Next step, now that we've got our culture activated, we need to heat milk to 160 and cool it to 110. Pour that into a glass and stir in 2 tablespoons of our culture and mix it thoroughly. This looks super simple, so I'm really excited. All right, we're almost up to temperature here. It's gonna click off in just a second. We'll turn it off and let it cool down to 110 degrees. And there we go. I've got our yogurt maker ready for when the milk has cooled and I can add the cultures. This particular model has been discontinued, but you can still find them in stock from time to time. All right, here we go. Getting the mixture, the milk with the culture into the yogurt maker, and it says to start it at 5 hours and see where you are. So, which one is this start? So I'm going to start it at 5 hours and see where I am. Okay, 5 hours later, and we are going to check our yogurt. Pardon the light, it's a little bit dark in here. I'm going to move this a little bit closer so you can actually see how it looks. And, oh yeah, I can see that it has set. It's not super firm right now. I could have probably let it go longer to get it more firm, but we're going to strain this anyway because it's Greek yogurt. But I'm going to give it a taste here. Oh yeah, that's yogurt. Oh, it's nice and tart. This is going to be great once I strain it. Okay, let me do that and we'll show you what the end result is. I'm going to hold back 2 tablespoons as the instructions recommend and use that to create another batch. Okay, so the second batch is done now, and I made this second batch from 2 tablespoons of the original batch. The original batch was a little bit loose, but I have been straining it in my Greek yogurt strainer, and as you can see, look at this. This is firmed up beautifully. It's gorgeous. I used 2 tablespoons of it while it was still loose to make the second batch of yogurt, and we're going to go ahead and check that now. The instructions say that if the first activation batch that you make doesn't really set fully, that it's okay to use that still to reculture the second batch, and so hopefully we'll see this second batch more firm than the first. Oh yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous. It's not too firm. It's not loose like the first batch was. So this second batch has come out beautifully. I'm actually going to take 2 tablespoons of this second batch and use that to make a third batch. Plus, how can you have too much yogurt? Okay, so it's been a few weeks and I have run through 3 gallons of milk. So I think that means I have made 12 batches of yogurt. I think that math's right. And each time I've tried tweaking the settings a little bit, leaving it in my yogurt machine a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, holding the milk on the stove at 160 for a little bit longer before allowing it to cool. And each batch has been slightly different. And I'm starting to get to the point where I know exactly what my yogurt maker needs. I think that my particular yogurt maker needs about 12 hours to get a nice thick yogurt. That's what I'm getting in this batch here. This was the batch from just before that one, and you can see it's kind of thin. And then this one, I'm not sure how well that's reading, but this is definitely a nice thicker yogurt. So I'm really happy with the results. And I think that they do make good on their promise of an infinite supply of yogurt. You just supply milk and each subsequent batch you make from the last batch of yogurt and continue to perpetuate your cultures. I still have that second packet of cultures in case I need it. I let a week go in between this batch, and this batch came out beautifully. So I'm not worried about leaving a batch too long before making the next one. When I first started making it, after a couple of days, I was making the next batch right away. I'm also burning through a lot of yogurt and eating a lot of granola. And I've even run a batch through a strainer to create the traditional thick Greek yogurt that, you know, everybody thinks of. And that turned out beautifully. I love a nice thick Greek yogurt, especially to make like tzatziki. So overall, I am very happy with the product and I would highly recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that this helped you, and go out and enjoy some yogurt.